Hey everyone. So I've been very candid about my IVF process and journey. If you definitely want to check out more about it, please check it out on my YouTube channel, Cheryl Mildor. That's it. So I would just want to tell you briefly about the experience that I've been having so far with the IVF process. And I have to tell you, and I wish more people would talk about it more. My experience so far has sucked. Okay, it's been nothing but stressful and going back and forth with a specialty pharmacy and a facility. It's been a total nightmare on my part. And the reason why, because this is my first time ever doing IVF. I don't know how it works. It was never explained to me. Yeah, it was never explained to me. And I'm not putting blame on anyone. It was never explained to me. And meaning that medications, like certain medication needs prior authorization. When I spoke to my doctor last Friday, Dr. Kendall, I told her, yes, I want to try the IVF because that was the only option I have because I really wanted to do the IUI, but there was no chance for me doing the IUI because of my husband's um, issue. So IVF was the only option that we have to get pregnant. So I decided to do that, to take that chance, even though I have 3% chance of success with IVF. So I agreed with Dr. Kendall to start doing that. But when she said, okay, perfect, then her team will call me and let me know the steps, how to go about it. Now I told Alexa called me, that's my nurse, and she told me that I have to start with blood work. And I told her I'm going to be away on business because I have to work. She said, okay. She said the last, not last, but the last day to do the blood work is on Wednesday. I'm like, perfect. I'll be back to Florida on Tuesday night, so I can do the blood work Wednesday morning. Perfect, because that was the last deadline to do it because I was supposed to do it Monday or Tuesday, but again, I was away on work. So I did the blood work. But she never informed me that certain medications, like I said, need prior authorization, that specialty pharmacy is going to contact you to make sure everything's correct and they're going to deliver a date for you to ship the medication. I got a call from specialty pharmacy when I was in New York when I was covering Sean Diddy Combs' trial, and then they asked for payment. I'm like, come again? My insurance company should be covering it. Then the gentleman told me, well, this certain the medication needs prior authorization. Now, why am I being told of this? Shouldn't they contact the facility and the nurse or my insurance company actually to get prior authorization? So I was like the middleman going back and forth. I even called my insurance company while I was up in New York to make sure those medications were covered by their insurance. They said every medication that I mentioned was covered. Perfect. And it just need prior authorization, which the facility, not me, the facility had to get prior authorization. Perfect. Come Wednesday, nothing, no prior authorization, anything. It was just a whole back and forth thing. So I spent like majority of my work time, especially I was trying to catch up on my own work because I was gone for 2 days, going back and forth with the specialty pharmacy, emailing Alexa, my nurse, calling the facility as well, to the point I was at my breaking point that I called the manager because I'm like, this is just too much. This is just a lot. And I don't feel like I should be doing this because this is not my job. I am not a nurse. It's not my job to obtain prior authorization for these medications. And I'm being told that I have to take this medication by Saturday. And it was Wednesday at the time. I still don't have the medication. It still haven't been shipped. So I'm freaking out because prior authorization is still needed for certain medications. They still haven't got it done yet. I'm going back and forth with the facility, with specialty pharmacy. I'm like, I can't be doing this because I have a job to do. I have things to do at my job. So I was just very frustrated on both ends, not the specialty pharmacy because the woman was very nice and explained to me the situation. It just feels very discouraged. It just very it feels very discouraged and very disappointing that us women have to go through this, fight with the insurance company, fight with the facility, going back and forth just to get things done and approval so we can get everything done in a rapid pace so we can take the medication and make sure that we're taking it properly. And that was my frustration because I want to make sure that I'm doing everything right because people don't understand. I only get one shot of this, okay? I get one trial of the IVF. God forbid if it doesn't work, you guys, that is it. I can't do a second round or a third round like other women have other options because of certain circumstances, and that every circumstance is different. When it comes to my circumstances, I get one shot of this. That's it. And I have a 3% chance of success. And I'm going to take the 3% because it's better than no percent. So if people don't understand, like, this is serious. So I called one of my friends and I was trying, and I told her, the situation, how frustrated I was that I was going back and forth, and this is not good for my body because I want to make sure that I want to make sure that I'm very calm and relaxed when I'm administering this medication in my body because it's going to affect my hormones, and I just don't want anything to jeopardize any 3% chance I have to get pregnant. And I was just telling her my frustration, and then it seemed like with her, she made it seem like I was angry. And I'm like, no, I'm frustrated and annoyed because I'm doing someone else's job. Like I'm the middleman. And that's not my responsibility as a patient. My responsibility is for the specialty pharmacy to give me a call to verify all my information. Everything is approved. The insurance company paid their portion, and I just have to pay a small fraction of what I need to pay and ship the medication. That is it. That's all I needed to do. Not doing someone else's job, not doing someone else's job to do this and do that. That's not my job. Okay. I already have enough jobs as it is. And that's all I was just trying to explain to her my frustration, how stressed I was. And then she was like saying, maybe you shouldn't do it then. Maybe you should have just, put a pause on it. And I'm saying to myself, and I told her, you don't understand. I get one shot of this. After that, I can't do it anymore. And I explained that to her. And I explained to her the 3%. So for you to say put a pause on it because I was just very frustrated about the process, that's not nice. And for you to say that, I'm angry, you're not being genuine because that's not nice either. I called you, actually, I texted her to check up on her to see how she's doing because she's pregnant. And then she asked me how I was doing. I was just telling her that I'm very stressed, nervous, and very anxious because, again, this is my first time ever doing IVF. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to happen. I just want to make sure everything is on my end is being done correctly because I'm a type of person I don't like to do half-ass. I really don't. And if it's not done properly, then what's the point? And I was like telling my friend, I don't want my husband and I spend all this money and then things are not working the right way. I'd rather put it on pause. And that's what I told her. I told their manager that as well when I called. I'm not saying I wouldn't do the IVF, but let's put it on pause if you're not getting the medication because I have to start it on Saturday. And right now we're Thursday. At the time it was Wednesday, this past, but now we're Thursday. And I was just like saying to my friend, that's um, the nervousness and anxiety that I'm having because it's Thursday right now and the medication has not been shipped yet because again, certain medication need prior authorization. So you can just imagine my stress level and how I feel. And I guess maybe my tone made it seem like I was angry. And I'm like, no, I think I have every title to be upset and annoyed, but it was not coming across angry. Maybe it was coming across angry to her. And then she just went back and said, well, the time that I know you, you seem like you were nice and sweet and a good Christian person, but lately you seem so angry and mad. And I'm saying to myself, pause. What do I have to do with now? Okay, maybe at the time I was probably angry and mad, but that was in different circumstances. Different circumstances. This is completely different what's happening now. That's like comparing apples to oranges. And I'm saying to myself, what do I have to do with now? I think I have every right to feel annoyed and upset and stressed a little bit because of what I'm going through with the process of the IVF. And then I'm like, and I told her, maybe you just don't know me well enough compared to my friends who've been knowing me for over a decade, and they can tell. It's not like I'm some angry woman that's off the rails and unhinged and just start breaking things. That's what I told her. Or going out in the street and making a scene. That's not my MO anyway, because that doesn't look good on anyone, especially me. But you get what I'm saying. That was not that's not what I was doing. Honestly, on the phone, I was just letting her know my frustration and what I've been going through for the last week. That was it. And then it just made it seem like she was not very supportive. And then she was like saying, well, I don't want to go back and forth with you. And I'm like, I'm not trying to go back and forth with you, but you're not hearing me. You're just saying that I sound angry. And I'm like, I'm not angry. I'm just very frustrated and upset. And I have every title to feel that way, especially when I'm going through. This is very serious. This is our lives. You know what I mean? If you're trying to start a family and then I feel like they're playing games. And I'm like, I don't have games. I don't have time to play games with them. Excuse me. Okay. I just want to make sure everything is done accordingly and everything's done correctly. So then I can have everything that I need to start my medication this Saturday. And that's all I was just trying to explain to her. But it seemed like, and I love her. Don't get me wrong, you guys. I love her to pieces, but it seemed like she was just not understanding where I was coming from. And I'm going to be very honest. Maybe she was the wrong person to call. I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe I shouldn't have reached out to her because I just feel like I was not getting the support that I need from her. And she should understand because she's a woman, she's a mother, and she's pregnant with her second child, and she went through the IVF. And I get it what she was telling me. Like everyone goes through IVF journey and process differently. I'm just telling you with my process so far, it sucks and it was not going the way that I expected to be. You know what I mean? And I feel like I have every right to say that. I feel like I have every right to express how I feel. I even said it to one of my doctors. I even cried, broke down into tears, and she understand what I was going through. It's like this doctor can understand what I'm going through, and then my own friend couldn't understand that. She just said that I just sound angry. And I'm like, okay, you really don't understand what I'm going through, and then you were the wrong person for me to reach out to because she made me feel like I shouldn't feel the way I'm feeling, and that's not right. And again, I'm not mad at her at all. You know, she's a very, very lovely woman, and I love her to pieces, and she's a good person. But I just feel like she was just not the right person I should have called. You know, obviously she's going to pray for me, and I appreciate each and one of you. Keep us in your prayers. Pray that the IVF will work. But moving forward, I think I will not be calling her um, and tell her my frustration. I'm just going to leave it in God's hands, and then the closest people that who knows me very, very well, who understands where I'm coming from, and they can tell. She known me for like a year or two. My friend's been knowing me for a decade, and I know everyone has different experience when it comes to me and the friendship. But my friends know, trust me, they know if I'm going off the rails, they will let me know, and they can tell when I'm being frustrated or when I'm like off the rails, and that's very rare, you guys. That's very, very rare. It takes a lot to push my buttons. It really does, you guys. Usually, not usually, I have thick skin. It really, really takes a lot. Like if you come after my family or my friends, that's a different story. Then you know, I'm gonna go 0 to 100, and that's a fact. But little stuff like that, I really don't care. But anyway, I'm off the topic here. But my point is that I just wanted to share with you guys my IVF process and journey. Again, I hope it goes a little bit better and a little bit smoother compared to the process. I hope the treatment will go well and everything will come together. And I will definitely keep you guys updated and posted on my IVF journey. Again, you can definitely check out more of this video on my YouTube channel, Cheryl Mildor. That's it. And if you really like this channel, please comment, please share your experience of your IVF. And again, this is a safe place. And not most women, us women, that's what wanted to say. Us women, we need to talk about it. We need to talk about the IVF, the good and the bad. You see videos about like the good stuff. My sister shared to me a video of a woman who went through it, and then she was like, and it's a beautiful video, and I'm not knocking this woman down, but it was a beautiful video, and she was saying her story and the process. But I want to see the ugly side too. You know what I mean? Because there are some ugly sides of IVF. It's not all about roses and petals and stuff like that. There's obviously trials and tribulations when it comes to IVF, and no one doesn't talk about it. I guess I'm going to be the first person to talk about it because I'm telling you my experience so far. The process, it's been horrible. It sucked and it's been stressing me out. And I just hope and pray throughout the treatment it will get better. I hope and pray. And I'm going to leave it in God's hands, and God will take care of the rest. And for me not to get stressed out and worried, because God doesn't like when we worry. Because when we worry, then that's when we don't trust the Lord. And I'm not going to do that because I trust my God and I know He has me and He will never forsake me and He got this. He got this. I know He does. And it's okay to relieve frustration. It's okay to cry. Sometimes I forget to do that. I always keep things in, but it's good to cry and to release and let it out. That's what my doctor told me today, and I did it, and it felt good. And I just had to get back on the horse and just keep moving forward and keep doing this and not give up. At the end of the day, God has the final say about everything, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Let me know what you think about this video, and again, I will see you guys next time. Take care and God bless.